Sam. Sam, let it go. Hurry up. Make it fast. This whole town ain't deaf.
Looks like we made it clean, Pardo.
They sure sleep sound in Virginia City, don't they? Let's go.
Sam. Ponderosa's off in that direction.
Well, I reckon I can find it.
You know what you're going to do when you get there.
We've been over it 97 times, Pardo.
Just once more.
All right. I go to the Ponderosa and I hire on as a hand, and I keep my ears open. And if a search party comes down this way, I let you know first. Especially if it's a platoon from the Army.
Then what?
Well, then when things quiet down, I come on back and we light out.
Mark that big old dead tree. We'll be a mile and a half south of here. You'll see a big granite boulder. Leads into a box canyon. That's where we'll be waiting.
You just let old Sam take care of it.
You're my eyes and my ears. I'm dependent on you, Sam. Let's go. Sam, cover up those hoof prints. They probably want to know where you came from. Tell them about that ranch you used to work on. That fella was always talking about the Ponderosa. That ought to convince them.
What if it doesn't?
What?
What if somebody starts getting extra nosy?
You got a gun, haven't you, Sam?
Too much horse for you.
You're next, Bronc Buster.
That's what they call me.
Hey, Joe, you ain't been making no rash promises to Ellie McClure, have you?
I hadn't had a chance.
You sure? Because there comes the report and the sheriff right now.
Hey, I wonder what they want.
I don't know, but now, me, I always sort of went for June weddings with lots of apple blossoms.
Hey, well, you know, a fella could do a lot worse than Ellie McClure.
Oh, excuse me all to pieces.
Well, you gonna ride this thing or not?
Coming up. You'll excuse me, ladies. It's time for your riding lesson.
Now we'll see some fun.
Ride him, Joe! Ride him, baby! Ride him, Joe! Keep his head up, Joe! Ride him, baby! Ride him, Joe! Hey, keep his head up! That's the way! That's the way! Get him! Come on, boy! Ride him! Stay with him, boy! Ride him!
I told you!
Well, I'm glad somebody enjoyed it.
I'm sorry. I didn't know it showed.
What can we do for you?
Well, you wouldn't happen to have an easy job in a cool place now, would you?
Yeah, but my brothers and I take all of those. What else you do?
Well, I've accidentally managed to break a horse or two in my day.
Yeah, well, we just happen to have one on hand.
Yeah, well, I was hoping you'd take my word for it.
Now, what's this?
Cowboy wants to try his luck on that hammerhead.
You ever busted any broncs before, Button?
One or two, I guess.
Well, if you ain't for sure, right now would be a real good time to back out.
Well, no, I don't reckon I'd want to do that.
You think we should let him do it?
Well, it's his hide.
Some fellers have to learn the hard way, Joe. That's what I call riding a horse.
Oh, well, you gotta admit I tired him out a little bit.
Well, you might as well face it, Joe. Some people just better with horses than others. Nice ride, kid. I'm Adam Cartwright.
Sam Kirby.
These are my brothers, Hoss and Little Joe.
Hi.
Pleased to meet you.
You looking for a job, Sam?
Well, Ed Lemp said you might be hiring some hands.
Ed Lemp, you friend of his?
Well, he ramrodded an outfit I work for down in Arizona, the Bar B.
I see. Ed give you a letter to show?
Well, yeah, I got it packed in the saddlebag there, if you really want to see it.
If you say you got it, you got it. How's old Ed in here?
Oh, he's meaner than ever. Still thinks mighty high of the Ponderosa, though.
Well, we pay $30 a month, bunk and beans.
Well, you just hired yourself a hand.
Now, as far as posses are concerned, we got them here, and up here.
Looks like you're well covered.
Now, I've been on the telegraph to every lawman in the territory, so I believe we got them pretty well sealed in. That is, within this general radius.
Yeah. Oh, boys, come in, please. You know, Mr. McClure, Sheriff Coffee.
Yeah, Sheriff. Hi, Sheriff, how you doing? Hey, Mr. McClure, Ollie getting all set for that birthday party Sunday?
I'm hoping we'll be able to have a birthday party, Little Joe.
Well, why? What's the matter?
Mr. McClure's bank was robbed last night.
I thought that bank was pretty near robber-proof.
Yeah, so did I. How much they get away with?
Just about all there was. Right now, we'd be lucky if we could pay off 5 cents on the dollar.
Boys, that information is not to leave this room.
You mean the people don't know about it?
Well, they know we've been hit, but they don't know how bad. We can't afford to have a run on the bank right now. If we can get that money back by the first of the month, we got a chance to weather it.
You'll be fine, Tom.
Any idea who did it, Sheriff?
Yeah, it could have been the John Parter bunch. He pulled a job just about like this up in Butte last year.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Now, wait a minute, Joe. The sheriff has plenty of help up north. He's holding us responsible for the Ponderosa.
Chances are they'll hold up for a while anyway, till this thing cools down a bit.
And we're to see to it that they don't hold up on our land.
So keep your eyes open for anything unusual. You know, smoke, tracks that hadn't ought to be there, drifters that got a lot more money than they ought to have, anything like that.
Well, we'll let you know if we see anything, Roy.
Much obliged to you, Ben. More than likely they won't come down this way at all, but it don't do no harm to make sure. Bye.
So long. Mr. McClure, I sure hope Ellie can have that birthday party.
I hope so, too, Little Joe. We're waiting to hear from Fort McKay. We're trying to get help from the Army.
Well, I'm sure they'll want to help. So do we, Tom.
Ben, when I think about some of the small ranchers around here, I'm just not man enough to tell them that they've worked 5, 10, 15 years for nothing. It's a tough thing to face up to.
Now, Tom, that's enough of that kind of talk. They'll find Pardo in his outfit. You mark my words.
I hope so. Thank you, Ben.
So long, Ben.
So long, Roy.
Let's finish breaking those horses, Pa?
No, forget about the horses for now. There's still time to do some looking before it starts getting dark. You boys saddle up and tell the horse and the men.
Hey, Pa, I was just thinking about what the sheriff said about drifters.
Huh? What about them?
Well, we just hired one a little while ago. I just thought I'd mention it.
Now, come on, Joe. Just because he outrode you doesn't mean he's a bank robber.
Look, I told you to stop kidding me.
Wait a minute now, wait a minute. What about this new man?
Well, Ed Lemp sent him. He's all right. Fell over there by the corral. Sam Kirby, in the gray shirt.
Well, if Ed Lemp vouches for a man, that's good enough for me. Tell Hoss and the men to saddle up. We'll cover more ground if we split up in twos. Joe, you take the Arroyo and everything east.
Right, Pa.
Hoss.
Yes, sir.
You go down south as far as the wash. Adam and I'll take the west part. All right, take a man and let's get busy.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll bird dog him out of there. Come on. I don't know about you. I think I'm gonna stretch a little.
Well, don't you think it's getting kind of late? Shouldn't we get back?
Yeah, after I work out a few kinks.
Wonder how the others are doing.
I don't know. I hope they're doing better than we are. It's funny.
You find something?
Yeah. This bush here. It's been broke off fresh. You reckon how that come to happen?
Well, a stray, maybe.
No, I don't see no tracks. Peculiar, ain't it?
Well, it's deer brush. Maybe some Indian took it for his fire.
Maybe. Let's me and you take a look around in here.
Plus!
What's the trouble, Joe?
Well, nothing, I guess. Just from back there, it looked like he was drawing down on you.
Ooh, Sam here?
Well, I just heard somebody coming. I just wanted to be sure.
Joe, you letting this whole thing spook you, boy.
Yeah, I guess so.
I reckon you was right about that deer brush. Well, let's get on in for supper. Sure fine supper tonight.
I never had roast beef that good in my whole life.
Get your gear stowed away?
No, I better get to it.
Want some help?
No, thanks. I don't have that much.
If you need anything, Sam, just holler.
Do you suppose it's something serious?
I don't know. I think the cat's got his tongue.
No, I was just thinking.
About Ellie McClure, no doubt.
No doubt.
No, I was thinking about Sam Kirby.
Well, now, you can't still be stewing about him breaking that horse this morning.
No, I told you that had nothing to do with it.
No, it's like I was telling you before supper. He's all bothered because he thought he caught old Sam drawing down on me out there in the wash. Forget that, Joe. He told you how that happened, didn't he?
Yeah, he told me.
What's the matter with you, then?
I don't know. It was just something about him.
Well, on Friday, we covered the south and the west part. Then yesterday, we took the east. And this morning, we split up and swept north.
No luck, huh?
Nah, not unless Adam found something.
I didn't.
Oh, what kept you?
Well, Sam saw some smoke up around Bitter Creek. Turned out to be Ollie Ludlow's posse.
Ollie's been watching the Dayton Road. Don't I know you, son?
I couldn't say, Sheriff. I don't think I know you.
Roy, this is Sam Kirby. He's working for us now.
Since when?
Since Friday.
Hard on Friday, huh? Where were you Thursday night, Sam?
You mean the night the bank was robbed?
Mm-hmm.
I was on the trail.
You can prove that, of course.
Not unless you want to take the word of my horse.
Sam's all right, Sheriff. Ed Lemp sent him up here from the Bar B.
Oh. How's old Ed?
Meaner than a snake.
Well, I guess, Sheriff, that...
Sheriff, got a message for you from Fort McKay.
Thanks, Rudy. Get my glasses.
Come to town for the picnic, Mr. Cartwright?
Oh, you mean Ellen McClure's birthday party? That was being called off, wasn't it?
Looks like they call it back on again. You know about ladies and parties and such. They say it's going to be a real do.
Hot dogs, and that's what I call real good news.
And here's some more good news. The Army's going to bust loose with a whole troop of horse soldiers. Says they'll be here tomorrow afternoon.
Tomorrow? Well, that is good news, Sheriff. That changes things considerably.
Now we can organize a search that'll really mean something.
Well, Tom McClure will be happy to hear about that.
What's up, Rudy?
Who's that young fella in there, Joe?
That's the new hand we hired. Why?
Well, nothing. I just thought maybe I saw him in town with 2 other men the night the bank was robbed.
You sure?
Well, he sure looks like the fella I seen.
Well, maybe you ought to come in there and tell the sheriff.
Oh, no, wait a minute. I ain't that sure. Anyway, it was kind of a dark night that night.
Well, I'll see you back at the Ponderosa, Mr. Cartwright.
All right, Sam.
Aren't you going to the picnic, Sam?
No, I'm not much good at picnics.
You ain't never seen the kind of picnics we have around here.
Well, I think I'll just ride on back to the ranch house.
Oh, won't you come on? It'll do you good.
Well, some other time.
Old Joe and me are going to look pretty silly packing you all the way over there, ain't we?
Oh, maybe he's got something better to do, Hoss.
All right, you win. I'll go.
Well, hope she's got some of that blueberry pie. Yes, sir. I sure relish a couple of them blueberry pies for supper.
Now for the team of Adam Cartwright and Troy Fuller. Adam Cartwright. Come on, show, man. Nothing to worry about, Jim, baby. Get him in there now. That's it. Easy one, Jim. Easy.
Ah! Hey, that's a fancy swing there you got. All right, player, come on, boy.
Take care of that.
See what you got here.
Ellie, I wouldn't do all this work for just any girl. I hope you know how much I like you.
You mean I'm the only girl you ever carried a picnic basket for, little Joe?
Well, let's just say you're the only girl I'd carry one for now.
Little Joe Cartwright. Right in front of all these people.
Yeah, well, you know, we could go behind that wagon. All right. All right, I'll get the rest of the groceries.
The pickle fork. Pickle fork. Where did I put the... Horse Cartwright!
Ma'am, there was a great big old horse fly here, and I was just...
I know what you was just. You Cartwrights. If it isn't one thing, it's the other. There'll be no refreshment served until after the games.
Yes, ma'am. Miss Ellie, ain't that your pickle fork over there?
I don't see any. Horse Cartwright!
Remember, ma'am, I'm just a growing boy. Hey, Sam. Hey, Sam, come here. What you doing sitting off over there all by yourself?
I'm just watching.
Well, that ain't no way to do it, a picnic. You got to get around here and meet some of these pretty gals.
Oh, no, don't bother. I'm fine.
Yeah, but you'll be a lot finer when you meet some of these gals. Come here. Miss Ellie. Miss Ellie, I want you to meet a friend of mine. This here's Sam Kirby.
How do you do, Mr. Kirby?
My pleasure, ma'am.
Hey, you better be nice to Miss Ellie. Her father owns a bank.
Is that so?
Oh, if you two will excuse me, I better find Pa and Adam and learn them something about shooting them horseshoes.
Do you like picnics, Mr. Kirby?
Well, I don't exactly know.
You don't know?
You see, this is the first one I've ever been to.
Didn't they have picnics where you grew up?
Not hardly.
What kind of a place was that?
I don't think you'd much want to hear about it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be inquisitive.
It's my fault. I didn't mean to give you a short answer.
That's all right. If you'll excuse me, I've got to finish setting this table.
Is there anything I can do to help you?
Thank you. I didn't think I was going to have a party today at all.
Is that so?
You heard about the bank being robbed.
Yeah, I heard.
Papa's been awfully upset. And Mama and me, too, naturally.
I guess you would be.
So many people trusted Papa. The Wilsons and Ludlows, even the Cartwrights. I think it would just kill Papa if they were to lose everything.
Well, I don't see where it's his fault.
He feels responsible to his friends. It doesn't matter now anyway. We had some real good news today.
Suppose you mean about the Army coming in?
Yes, isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, wonderful.
Ellie? Have you seen the napkins?
Yes, Miss Shoemaker. They're in that basket over there.
Well, come on, girl. The party can't wait all day. Mind setting them out?
Of course not, Miss Shoemaker. It was nice meeting you, Mr. Kirby. I hope to see you again.
Thank you, ma'am.
Well, as a matter of fact, there's a dance next Thursday. Doesn't amount to much, but the Cartwright boys usually come. Why don't you come along with them?
Well, thank you, ma'am. I think I'd like that.
Thursday, then.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, let me get that.
What are you trying to do, Kirby?
I wouldn't say I was trying to do anything.
Now, little Joe, Mr. Kirby and I were only talking.
Yeah, sure, I saw the way he was talking. It looked to me like he was trying to put his arm around you.
Joe Cartwright.
What business is this of yours, Cartwright?
I'm making you my business, Kirby.
Just because I've gone out with you once or twice, it doesn't give you the right to think of me as your personal property.
Now, you stay out of this, Ellie. There's a lot of questions I wanted to ask you, Kirby. Now's as good a time as any.
Well, I'm not answering any questions.
Yeah, well, you're gonna answer this one. Where were you Thursday night?
Joe! Mr. Kirby, please.
Break it up.
I say break it up. I mean break it up.
It's all right, folks. Everything's all right. Boys were just getting a little hungry, that's all. I think Mr. McClure would like us to adjourn to the tables for a little food.
Yes, friends. Over here. We have fried chicken.
Sam, we didn't mean no harm. We didn't know your back was scarred up like that.
You suppose it'd be all right if I went along now?
Well, where do you want to go, Sam?
Back to the ranch, if it's all right.
Of course it's all right.
Sam, little Joe didn't mean nothing. We just wanted you to have a good time, that's all.
Hoss.
Sam? Put this on. It'll cover your back. Well, it wasn't much of a picnic for him.
Paul, you reckon what to do a man's back like that?
But the only thing I could figure is bullwhip.
What are you all looking at?
Oh, forget it, Joe. Ain't nobody looking at you.
Well, all right, what was I supposed to do?
You didn't have to poke him.
Oh, I didn't have to poke him. Look, he's the one who threw the first punch.
Come on now. You've been down on him ever since he rode that horse.
I told you that's got nothing to do with it.
Well, what is it then, Joe? What do you got against that boy?
All right, I'll tell you. Rudy told me he saw him in town Thursday night. I wouldn't be surprised if he had something to do with a bank robbery.
Hey, Joe, that's going a bit too far, ain't it, boy?
It's a pretty serious charge, Joe. You have any real evidence to support it?
Now, Rudy told me he thought he saw him in town.
He thought he saw him in town. And you call that real evidence?
I guess not. I'm sorry, Pa. I should have known better.
Huh?
Look, maybe I better ride after him, tell him I'm sorry.
Yeah, good idea.
Come on, Cooch.
It's me, Sam.
Oh. Hello, Sam. How's the boy?
Just fine, Pardo.
Things quieting down?
No. They're getting hot. There's an Army troop of cavalry headed in from Fort McKay.
When?
Well, they're due in Virginia City tomorrow afternoon.
What time?
Well, I'm afraid they didn't say that.
Oh, well. We'll have plenty of time. Where are the posses?
Well, I got them all spotted.
Yeah, you sure?
I had a good long look at the map in the sheriff's office.
Sheriff's office? They must have trusted you pretty good.
Yeah, they trusted me fine. Why?
No reason. Where'd you get the new vest?
Adam Cartwright. He gave it to me.
Gave it to you. I gotta hand it to you. You sure got away with you, Sam.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take out of here in the morning before the cavalry pulls in.
Now, what's so funny?
That Cartwright fella giving you his vest.
Vamos.
There's one thing still left for you to do, Sam. I want you to go back to Ponderosa. Spend a little more time with your friends.
Why?
For one thing, you might want to return that vest. If you're thinking of turning on me, Sam, you better forget it.
Now, what makes you say that?
I don't know. I just said it. Now get back to that ranch and find out which way the soldiers are coming in.
Pardo, do I have to go back there?
Yeah, you have to go back there. Where'd you find him?
Looks like he was trailing Sam. Ramus and me thought you might be interested.
You know him?
Yeah. It's Joe Cartwright.
It's a small world, ain't it, Kirby?
I thought you said you had him fooled.
No, not all of us.
What's that mean?
Nothing. Just keep him here. I'm going back to the ranch. Leave him alone!
You going soft, Sam? Oh, tie him up. Get on back to Ponderosa before those Cartwrights get suspicious. And find out which way those horse soldiers are coming in, you hear?
I hear you.
That you, little Joe?
Oh, it's me, Sam.
Oh, I thought Joe would be with you.
Well, you thought wrong.
It's funny, he rode out of town right after you did. He felt kind of bad about what happened at the picnic today. He went after you to tell you he was sorry.
Oh? Well, you tell him I said not to lose any sleep.
Sam, I haven't known you for very long, but I count you as a friend.
Let me tell you something. A man's only got one friend. One guy in the whole world he can count on who'll go out on a limb for him. And that's himself.
All right. The sheriff's inside.
Sheriff?
Wants to talk to you, Sam.
Well, why me?
Why don't you ask him that yourself?
That Ed Limp. I tried to convince him to stick it out in this territory, but
He never did think this country would amount to much. Hired out to Arizona.
did pretty well out there. But had all that gold and silver right here under his feet.
Yeah, and the lumber and cattle.
Sam? Well, you know the sheriff.
Yeah.
Huh?
Sit down, Sam.
No, thanks.
Sheriff tells me he has some information about you. I thought you'd want to be here when he told us.
That's nice of you, Mr. Cartwright.
Seems Sheriff Coffey here got to worrying about you this morning after we left his office.
Well, that was real nice of you, too, Sheriff.
I sent a telegraph message about you down to Bar B Ranch. Old Ed Limp. Here's the answer. It says they let you go more than 6 months back on account of your prison record in Texas.
Did you check on that, too?
Didn't have to. I sent the whole story.
Funny thing about a prison record, Mr. Cartwright. They say you do your time and you pay your price. But don't you believe it?
Sam, did you serve your time out?
8 years. And I was pardoned. I suppose they left that out.
It's all there.
Now, Roy, what's all this about? Since when do we hound a man who's paid for his mistake?
It wasn't exactly a mistake.
Now, just what does that mean?
He murdered his father in cold blood.
Is what he's saying true?
Yeah. Some. He was my stepfather. And he needed killing.
Nobody needs killing.
He did. I was 6 years old when my mother died. You know what he did when we come back from the funeral? He took a whip to me. Just to show you, he says. Just to show you things are going to be different from now on. That was my stepfather.
See.
From then on, he beat me every day I can remember. Except when he was too drunk.
And it was he who did that to your back.
He did. So I waited. I waited till I figured I could handle him. And I waited till he was stone cold sober. I wanted him to know what was happening and who was doing it.
That's premeditated murder.
Yeah. And then one night he came for me. And I was ready. And I killed him. I was 14 years old.
That's what you served your sentence for.
For 10 years. I served 8.
I think you better come along with me, boy.
Sheriff, I'm not going anywhere with you.
Kirby, you haven't got a chance against the 4 of us.
Sam. Sam, put up your gun. Put it away. All right. Now, what's the charge against him?
No charge. Don't need any. He can't prove where he was Thursday night, and he's got a prison record. That's enough to take him in.
Well, it's not enough to take a man off this ranch.
Now, what does that mean, Ben?
Roy, half the people in this territory couldn't prove where they were Thursday night. As for a man having a prison record, once he served his sentence, his debt is paid, and that's it. The boy stays here.
You're refusing to cooperate with the law.
I'm refusing to allow you to lock the boy up without a valid reason. No law in the world says you can do that.
I could deputize some men.
Well, Sheriff, I reckon you better get you a whole bunch of them.
All right, Ben. But it's your responsibility. Ben, you're sticking your neck out a country mile because if you've made a mistake, you're going to have to account for it.
Well, Sam, looks like little Joe and the rest of us owe you a new shirt.
Yep. You go down and get the best one you can find, Sam, with pearl buttons and all.
Sam? Now, what's been said here has been said, and that's the last of it. I want you to know that you have a home here in the Ponderosa for just as long as you want it.
Pa, you'll have to excuse Sam. He has some theories about people going out on a limb. Guess they kind of fell apart, huh?
That's where you're mistaken. Y'all just made me see how right I am. So I got a home in the Ponderosa, have I? Well, I can't use it.
Sam! Now, look, what did we say? That...
Forget it! Just don't you do me any favors. And don't you expect any.
What got into him?
I guess he's not used to being treated like a human being.
Why little Joe didn't come back with him?
Oh, boy, he probably got halfway out and decided to go back and make up to Ellie.
Should have been home hours ago. Strange boy, that Sam Kirby. Well, I guess that's what happens when you've never been given a helping hand.
He got himself so far out on that limb, he didn't quite know how to get himself off. Well, it's been a hard day, Pa. Better get to bed.
Don't worry about little Joe, Paul. He can take care of himself.
Good night, Hoss. Good night, Adam.
Good night.
Night, Paul. He's sure enough worried about Joe, ain't he?
Well, you know how he always is about him.
Hey, where are you going?
I'll be right back.
You think you'll need any help?
Couldn't even wait till morning, huh? Why are you so touchy, Sam?
No reason. I just want to get out of here.
But nothing my father said made any difference to you, huh?
Why don't you Cartwrights leave me alone? I'm full up to here. And here's your vest. I don't want it.
Sam, is it really the kindness that's killing you, or is it something else?
I just don't like a lot of people asking me questions.
Why not? What have you got to hide?
Who says I got anything to hide?
Little Joe right about you all along? Is that what's bothering you, Sam?
Adam? Adam, are you around?
What's the matter? I got hit in the head. Kirby slammed into me and ran off.
I guess he had us all fooled.
And particularly me. I think the sheriff is right about him. Little Joe, too.
He might have the answer to Joe's whereabouts. Well, let's get horse and we'll get saddled up and pick up his trail as soon as it turns light.
All right, once more.
You're wasting your time.
Which way? About time you were getting here. We gotta get moving.
What are you doing to him?
What did you find out? Did you find out which way the horse soldiers were coming in?
No, I didn't get a chance.
Maybe we still have a chance. He probably knows which way they're coming in. Why don't we just have you make him tell us?
Yeah, why don't you make me talk, Sam?
Go on. After all, you're practically one of the family.
Oh, what are you waiting for?
You ask him.
That living with the Cartwrights is making you go soft. It's his kind that put you in jail and took 8 years out of your life. You forgetting that?
No, I'm not forgetting that. But I know the Cartwrights well enough to know that he won't talk. If we stay here any longer, we'll never get out of here. Let's get going now.
You'll never get out of here. When my pa and brothers find out I didn't come home all night, them and the cavalry will be all over the place. You're not gonna make it.
Maybe we won't. But you won't be alive to know it. Kill him.
Hold it, Link. He just gave us the answer.
Yeah?
Yeah, take him with us. Joe Cartwright, riding out there in front. Then if we get trouble from any of the other Cartwrights, he gets a bullet right in the back.
Might work. Ramos, go get Andy. Saddle up the horses.
Link, get the money out of the cave. All right, Pardo. Pardo!
Sure waited long enough. You took 10 years off my life.
Well, I just hope I didn't take 10 years off my life, too.
Now, don't worry. You got friends now. Friends that'll stick by you.
I know that. I'll be all right. What about those other two?
Yeah, let's pick them up.
Looks like little Joe didn't wait for the army.
Hey, he's got Sam with him. Looks like we was wrong about Sam, Paul.
Yeah. Looks like we were all wrong about Sam Kirby.
Now can I have that drink?
Not until you finish your story, Charlie.
You have to tell us about General Fremont.
Let me see, where was I? Oh, yeah. Hey, well, that was the time that me and the General come through here together. That was in the summer of '47. As a matter of fact, there wouldn't have been no Virginia City if it hadn't been for me and the General.
I told you to shut up your lying, didn't I?
I ain't lying.
You are lying.
Ain't you?
Ain't you?
Yes, sir, yes, sir.
Now, wait a minute, mister. Old Charlie here don't mean any harm. He's just an old man hanging around the saloon. We'd like to hear his stories. Well, I don't like to hear them. Now, did anybody ask you to put in your 2 bits worth?
Why did you tell me? I tell you, I did scout for General Fremont. I tell you, I did. Why did you leave me be?
All right, old man. Let it go. Give me a knife.
What you aiming to do?
Well, now, anybody that's fought as many Indians as you claim you have ought to have a few scars, shouldn't he?
Oh, no.
Suppose we just scratch off some of this beard and...
Ow!
So we can
Oh,
put on some
Come
more.
on, man. We're just going to carry the cake out of you.
People! Come on, Charlie. Let's get you out of here before you get in any more trouble.
Thank you, Horace. Thank you.
My friend Charlie don't like to be treated like that. I don't like it neither. Drop something. Fremont Expedition, 1847. Presented to Charles Trent, Chief Scout, for services above and beyond the line of duty. Charlie, you wouldn't want to lose that.
You're about the only real friend I got in town. All I seem to do is to cause you trouble.
Charlie, you promised me solemn you wasn't going back in that saloon again.
Well, I didn't mean to. Just them fellas wanted to hear some of my stories, that's all.
Yeah, for a couple of drinks.
I guess you won't give me another chance, will you?
Dad, Bernie, Charlie, how many chances you gonna have to have? I talked Paul into giving you a job on the ranch, and what do? The first payday you take off, and we don't see you again for a week, and you come back drunk.
That was a mistake, Hort.
Charlie, it's that way with every job you got around here. There ain't nobody around here gonna give you a chance now.
I guess you're right, but I ain't gonna bother you no more. I can promise you that much. Because I'm gonna take up scouting again. General Fremont, he'll be sending for me any time now, today, tomorrow for sure.
Charlie, I wouldn't count on it too much. General Fremont's a busy man. War talk and all that.
Oh, I know. He wouldn't go back on me. See, him and me, we crossed the Great Salt Flat together. I better go fix up a little, though, I guess.
Charlie, it just ain't no use. I done made up my mind what I'm gonna do with you.
What?
Well, I'm gonna go in there and get some money, and I'm gonna fix you all up nice and clean. I'm gonna put you on the first stagecoach out of here for San Francisco.
That's mighty kind of you, Hoss. I appreciate it. But I can't go to no big city. I belong out here. I got to stay here.
Charlie, I've been all wrong about maybe you getting a new chance here. The big city's the only place for you. You stay right here. Don't you go no place here.
Hoss!
Hold on, Cutter. Where are you going?
I heard a couple of friends of mine was passing through. Thought I'd talk to them is all.
Well, I have a strict schedule on this mission. You'll be back here and ready to lead out in 1/2 hour. Cutter?
Captain, I think it's about time you and me had us an understanding. Now, I've been loaning it through this territory for a goodly time, and I ain't never taken no orders yet. Not from a savage and not from no soldier boy.
You signed an Army contract to scout trail. You're going to fulfill it into the letter, or you'll be relieved.
Why, mister, you got about as much chance of crossing that desert without me as a blind hootie bat has of reaching the sun.
All right, carry on, man.
Captain, I know that whole desert. I mapped out the first trail in Salt Lake City. I know the whereabouts of every water hole.
Yeah, well, I can't sign on anybody just because they claim to be a scout.
You don't believe me, huh? Here, look at that. Look at that.
Fremont expedition.
Yeah, you can read what's written on the other side, too.
Presented to Charles Trent, Chief Scout for Services. Trent.
Yeah.
Are you the same Trent that scouted for the border expedition against the Apaches?
Yeah, that was back in 53.
I wouldn't have known you. I mean, it's been so long. Of course, you wouldn't remember me. I was just a shave tail, but that was my first assignment. I guess it would have been my last if you hadn't let us out of that Apache trap. Charlie Trent.
You'll give me a chance, then?
Not Charlie. That gold shipment's vital. Maybe with a war coming on, you've got to scout. Perhaps next time I make a trip, Charlie.
Captain, that old bum's pretty drunk, thinking he can scout for you, sir.
Corporal, that old bum was the finest scout in the United States Army. Whatever I know about this territory, I learned from him.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
I am too.
Give us a bottle. Give old Buzzard Bait a drink here, too.
Wake up. The man's buying you a drink.
Charlie.
Hoss, did I ever tell you about the time I led an expedition up the Columbia River?
Yeah. You told me, Charlie. Come on, let's go down to the stable and you can clean it off.
I tried. Hoss, honest, I tried hard. You asked them soldier boys if I didn't. That captain, he just didn't want me.
Joe, give me a cup of coffee and a sandwich.
Cutter's in here, Captain. You ain't making no friends with none of us, Cutter. Where you treating the captain?
I told you to be back and ready in half an hour.
Seems to me I do remember you saying something like that. Well, don't you mind now. I'll be along a little while. Barkeep, set my friend the captain here up a drink. Last man that grabbed me like that was the Blackfoot chief. I cut his liver out. A man don't live long without a liver, Captain. That's a pure medical fact.
I'm giving you a direct order. Get outside and join the detail. Now.
Or what?
Or you're through.
Well, now, that don't seem so likely, mister. You need a scout, and I'm the only one there is.
You're a long way from being indispensable, Cutter. Here's a man knows the wasteland country better than you or any scout alive. Charlie Trent.
Trent? Where are you going to find him?
Charlie?
That? Charlie Trent? The great Charlie Trent, huh? Remington Massacre. You remember Charlie? He led them soldier boys right into an ambush. Right smack dab up to where them Indians was waiting. He's just the kind of a scout you need, Captain.
Collect your gear from the wagon and clear out.
Take along plenty of water, soldier boy. Plenty of water.
Charlie. Charlie, you asked me for a chance. This is it. Now, don't give me any cause to regret it. We'll provide you with your mount and your gear. Get anything else you need. We'll move out as soon as you're ready. Well?
Captain, I...
You do it, Captain. Charlie.
Captain, my name's Cartwright. I'm a friend of old Charlie's. I'll see to it he's ready to go in no time.
We rode together.
Captain, let him ride with you again.
I haven't much choice.
Thank you, sir. I'll get him. Charlie, I've been looking all over this town for you. The captain's down there waiting for you. You gotta get your gear and...
Leave me alone, please, sir. Please leave me alone. Just go tell that captain man you couldn't find me, that's all.
Charlie, he's offering you the chance you've been waiting for.
If it was just me, I wouldn't mind. But you see, it's Pender and all his men depending on me.
Charlie, you led the first map party across that desert. The first white man that ever crossed it. Now, if you can do that, you can lead Bender and his men now. Or was that just one of your lies about leading that map party?
No, because that was true, Hoss. That was true.
All right, then. Now, Charlie, you listen to me, and you listen real good. If you let Captain Pender and those men go out across that desert without somebody to scout the trail for them, you are going to be a coward and a murderer. Charlie, you got to do it.
If you help me, if you come with me.
Charlie,
Just like you said yourself, this here's the chance I've been waiting for. Will you please help me? Will you please come with me?
Yes, sir, I'll go with you.
Thank you. All right.
Well, goodbye, Captain, and good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Detail. Forward.
Forward!
Ha!
Oh!
Hey, Charlie. This time, don't go letting them Indians get your scalp.
You stand there laughing like you just done something great, Cutter. But all you've done was to mess up things real good.
It's working out just the way I want it, Buck.
And how do you make that? We had a plan to get the gold. Now we've got nothing.
I changed plans for a better one. We still get the gold.
Maybe you'd better tell us what you got in mind.
Way it works out now, I don't have to explain me surviving. They get lost, sand covers everything, ain't a trace of nothing left. And everybody figures it's old Charlie Trent led 'em wrong.
You were going to lead them soldiers out into the desert. What if this Charlie takes them another way?
Them renegade bands down south would like nothing better than to get their hands on that gold. Cheyenne on the warpath up north, they got nowhere to go but across that desert, with us following them.
Looking for something, Charlie?
Oh, no, I wasn't looking for nothing. I just looking.
A bottle?
What bottle?
You ain't gonna find it.
Horse, that was all I had. I didn't want to drink it. I just wanted to know it was here, that's all. I wasn't aiming to drink a drop of it. I promise. Cross my heart.
I poured it out this morning, Charlie.
I can't make it without a drink, Horse. Horse, I can't make it.
Charlie, you done made it almost a week now, just on a pint.
Yeah, what we've come through is nothing. Like taking a walk down a boulevard on a bright, sunshiny day. You wait till we get across that mountain and hit the great salt flats. A man's gotta have something in his insides when he tackles that desert. And you done took and poured my insides right out on the ground.
Charlie, you're just gonna have to grow some new ones. Because if you don't take us across that desert, we're all gonna die and rot out there.
All right, I'll try, Horse. Honest, I'll try.
Here. You drink your coffee and quit worrying. You're gonna make it.
My, there they be, getting ready to bed down like nice soldier boys. Come dark, we're gonna ride. From here on out, we stay ahead of them.
What's our line of march?
Due east, Captain. You see, once you hit that there desert, there ain't no landmarks to guide you. You have to kind of sense things, you know, kind of feel your way along.
Charlie, that's what we're depending on you for. To take us to that first waterhole in a 2-day march, and then after that, you'll have to lead us to the next waterhole, then on to the last one. Can you do all that, Charlie?
I tell you what, I've been thinking it over, and I reckon it might be our best bet to head due north, you see, and that way we can circle the desert entirely, you see.
With Yellow Star and the whole Cheyenne Nation on the warpath? Look, I didn't bring you along to tell me how to get us all killed. We have to cross that desert. Now, you signed on as a scout to lead us over it. Now, can you do it?
Me and Horse will lead out.
Prepare to move.
Bring him out!
Forward! Forward! Out!
You aiming to take them on tonight?
Nah. You ever see the Zuni's hunt fox?
Oh.
Well, they just let them keep on running till their tongues are all swole up and hanging out. Then they walk up to them real peaceful-like and club them to death. Yes, sir, we're gonna let those soldier boys just ride on a piece. Far enough so there ain't no way back.
Sort of like being out on the ocean, ain't it? Only difference is that we're looking for water instead of land. You got your bearing yet, Charlie? You don't reckon we could circle back on ourselves, do you, and gotten lost?
No.
Ain't much daylight left, Charlie, and you said we'd sure find that water hole before sundown.
That there water hole has got to be within an hour's march of here, I'm telling you. You go back and tell the captain. And tell him to bring them soldiers of his up here right away.
You sure, Charlie?
Sure. No, of course I ain't sure. But I gotta act like I was. I gotta fool them soldiers into thinking I'm sure. Because if just one man panics, it'll spread like wildfire. We'll find ourselves a bunch of buzzard bait. You said you had faith in me, didn't you?
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, hang on to it, son. Hang on to it. Because that's all I got to hang on to myself.
I'll tell him.
Now, when I find that there water, I'll fire 3 shots in the air.
Yes, sir.
Detail! Halt!
Oh! Captain.
Dismount.
How? Captain, just a little piece further.
I made a mistake trusting him. I think it's time we admit it. Both of us, we're lost. You know it.
Captain, you're wrong.
With the captain's permission, me and the men would like the captain to tell us straight out how we stand.
Captain.
And you got a right to know.
It's Charlie. He found the water.
Detail! What's wrong?
That your water's been poisoned. See the animal over there? It was the same thing that'll happen to any of us that drinks this here water.
We don't need a scout to find poison water for us.
Sergeant?
Yes, sir.
Move the detail to that area up ahead. Make camp. Issue half rations of water to the men and the mules. None to the mounts.
Detail. Forward.
All right, Charlie. How far to the next water hole?
It's about a day's march. But me nor nobody else can say whether that water will be any more fitting to drink than this is.
Can you find it?
Found this one, didn't I?
What do you think, Captain?
We can make our water last another full day. We'll have to lose our mounts. The mules can keep going as long as they get some water.
You got to make the decision, Captain.
If we turn around and go back, the men and the gold will be saved, but if you go on up ahead and that water is poisoned too, it'll be too late to turn back. There's nothing in my orders about turning back. Charlie will move out just before dawn while it's still cool.
Poison this one, too?
That's what I'm gonna do, but
They're liable to get suspicious.
that don't make no difference. Besides, they can't never know just how it got done. Now go on, do like I told you. Start brushing out our tracks.
Look, all we've been doing is riding around this miserable desert. Now, I say we stay here and finish off them soldiers.
All I want is to split that gold. And I ain't got nothing so far but sunbaked.
Let it go.
I'll side with them.
Now, them soldiers have got to come here. All we got to do is wait for them. But if you feel you'd rather not make the stand with us, you can clear out. No hard feelings.
No hard feelings, huh? Now, you listen to me. Every last one of you. There ain't one of you got a chance of leaving these salt flats alive less than I lead you. Now, where would you ambush 8 men on flatlands like this? But up ahead, there's places where we can pull it off. Now, go on. Do like I told you. Stop brushing out our tracks.
Poison.
Kelly, get out of that water! Get out! Get out of there! Get out! Poison! Lock your head!
Water's good! It's not poison! And let me have some more!
Kelly! You just drunk your death, man.
Water's good! Water's good! It's not poison!
Time, Pat.
Charlie, make sure. Test that water again.
No need to, Cap. Kelly himself will prove I was right.
You drunken old sot! The belly is loaded with so much poison now from liquor you don't know what you're doing! You keep us away from this water! You don't...
Sergeant, bring a canteen.
Ain't no use doing that, Captain. He can't swallow none nohow.
Move him over under the wagon. Cover him with a blanket.
There's 4 riders and 1 spare horse. All headed away from here, riding fast for the next water hole.
And poison that one, too.
Another thing, Captain. Only a scout would know his way around here like them bushwhackers are doing.
A scout? That'd have to be Cutter. Go ahead while we still have some water left and try to fight our way through.
Captain, there's rocks around that there water hole. Best place in the world for an ambush. They'd pick us off before we ever seen them.
We're not going to stay here and die now without a fight. You got an idea better than that?
Yeah. If they are still at that water hole, that water will be good until after they finish us off.
That makes sense, Charlie. Go on.
Yeah, but we gotta make sure they're still there. So when the moon sets, I'll start out, see? I should make it in, an hour or 2.
No, Charlie, no. I'll go with some of my men. Sergeant, you and Johnson will go with me. Corporal?
No, Captain. I'm a scout. I can do a better job alone.
All right, Charlie. But after you get there, what then?
Well, if they ain't there, and the water is still good, I'll fire 3 shots. Oh. Well, Cutter may have heard that signal before. So this time, I'll fire 3 shots, wait a while, then fire 2 more. And, Captain, when you hear them 5 shots, you come a-running.
And if I don't hear the 5 shots?
If you don't hear them, you head due north. 4 smarts, traveling by night. Now, with any luck, you ought to make the highlands and water in about 2 days. Of course, the Cheyennes might be there, too. But then maybe it's better to be scalped than to die of thirst, huh?
I'm sorry I ever doubted you, Charlie.
Oh. Thank you, Captain. Thank you. My horse.
Charlie, when I promised to come along in this deal, I'm in all the way.
No, you've done enough for me already. I just ain't worth it. Can't you understand that?
If you leave me here, I'll just tag along after you.
Horse, you ain't coming with me. Besides, I travel faster alone.
Charlie, if I let you go out there alone, I'd feel guilty the rest of my life.
That's better than being dead, ain't it?
You know better than that.
Here.
5 shots, right, Captain? Charlie, you ain't no sign up.
I don't mean them fellas ain't up there hiding in them rocks.
Well,
I don't like it. It just don't feel good.
We're gonna have to take a chance on it anyhow. Let's go.
All right, but you be careful, son.
That Bernie Charlie's gonna take you all day to make up your mind?
Hold on.
pair of fools. Drink your fill, boys. Then we're going to have a nice, long talk about my good friend, Captain Pender. Why did them soldier boys come with you? How many of them are there left?
I reckon that's something you're going to have to find out, mister.
Well, that's something I'm just going to find out.
Cutter! They're back in the other water hole.
Charlie.
There's 5 of them. 1 of them died. They're waiting for my signal to come on ahead.
Charlie!
Captain Pender got any suspicion of me?
No, of course not. No, if we'd had any suspicions, you don't suppose that me and the horse would have come walking in here the way we done, do you?
No, I reckon not. Being the scout you once was. What's that signal?
I ain't going to tell you.
You ain't going to tell me. Hey, Latigo, fetch me my saddlebag. You ain't gonna tell me. Charlie? This ought to make you talk, huh? It's all yours, Charlie. You just tell me what that signal is. My, I bet you got mighty dry for this, too. Smell it, Charlie, huh? What's the signal now, huh?
Don't you tell him, Charlie.
That's too good to waste on you. But... tastes good, huh? Yeah. What's the signal, Charlie? And it's all yours, every last bit of it.
Signal? 3...
Louder, Charlie. Louder.
3 shots.
Charlie.
3 shots.
The signal is 3 shots. And when Pender hears them, they'll move out and join us here.
3 shots, just like before. But I wanted to make sure. Hey, just like before, huh?
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Buck, untie him. What about him? Untie him. He ain't going no place.
Now. I'll give it to me.
Here's your reward, Charlie.
Is it all right, Hoss?
Yeah. I reckon you earned that one, Charlie.
This ought to bring 'em running like a flock of dumb sheep.
3.
Go on, Charlie.
Just fire 2 more times.
5 shots, he said.
He's trying to warn us. They ran into trouble.
we sure fooled him that time, didn't we, huh? Oh, the Cutter thought he was tormenting me into telling the truth. And all the time it was Cutter himself that gives the signal for Pender to start moving north.
Yep. But they're going to find out in a minute. When they do, they'll be real mean, Charlie.
Yeah, well, You know, it's a funny thing. I got plenty of this doggone stuff. I don't seem to want it. You know, it kind of burns me insides. Hey, Cutter!
Cutter. Look! Here they come. 3 soldier boys. Only 3. Ain't none of them Pender. a smart one. Maybe he figures I'm going behind this butte and having himself a look-see. Hey, Latigo, you get up among them rocks. Keep your eyes peeled. You let me know, but don't you do no shooting, you hear?
I guess the only reason I drink the doggone stuff is so that I can stop remembering.
I just don't understand it. That wasn't a signal for them to come up here.
You see, Hoss, years ago, I led a whole detachment of cavalry into a Kiowa trap. They was all butchered and they died cursing me.
Wasn't your fault, Charlie.
Yeah, that ain't good enough.
Look, you keep watching that wagon. Morgan, you take those two and you keep them out of sight. I may need the old man later to weigh these on. You two get over behind those rocks. And don't try to let them know we're here. I'll break this gun barrel right over your heads. Stay low. No time at all now. We're going to be divvying up that gold. He must have spotted the others. Now, you stay here, Buck. No shooting till I start it. You be mighty careful how you go hitting them mules.
Two of them coming from high up behind us. One of them's the captain.
Well, that makes it easier for us. We'll just let them sneak up on us before we start shooting. Come on.
We gotta do something else. We gotta
Shut up.
Old man, don't be so hoggy with that whiskey. Fill that cup.
Sure.
Bring it over here. Careful.
Good work, Charlie. You go get Buck. I'm going after Cutter.
Well, if they're down there, they're not giving it away. Let's get down to those 4 big rocks down there, see them?
Yeah.
I'll go first.
Doggone it, I had him dead to rights.
We got him pinned down now. We can blast him out of there easy.
Hey, the water's good, Captain. You can drink it.
That's just a crease, Charlie.
Corporal! Corporal! Bring up the wagon. Get yourselves a drink. Detail advance. Halt! Scout, lead us out.
Sure, Captain.
Detail